Divorced, it's been 6 months now. I'm getting used to living with my son and starting to regain a routine. In the midst of that, I received a text from my ex-husband whom I divorced. How are you doing? I miss the two of you whom I love dearly. The two whom he loves? Give me a break, even though it's all my fault. This is the story of how I fought against the lowest scam of a man and won happiness with my son. My name is Yvette, 29 years old. I got married to my husband, Alonso, a year ago, and we were leading a happy life every day. We met through work and got married after 2.5 years of dating. Alonso is 3 years older than me, but his income is lower. But that's okay. I fell in love with his dedication to work. My husband was kind not only at work but also at home. Since we both work, we share the household chores. Of course, it's probably because I have a higher income, but I'm glad I could marry such a wonderful person. I truly believed that, but he changed after I got pregnant. It all started with a trivial matter. I had been feeling unwell, so I casually took a pregnancy test and it turned out positive. Alonso, it looks like I'm pregnant. Haha, seriously? Yeah, I'm really happy about it. My husband embraced me with a beaming smile. With him by my side, I felt like we could overcome any obstacle. That's what I thought. A few days later, while having dinner, my husband suddenly brought up an unexpected proposition. Hey, Yvette, what if we live together with my parents at their place? Haha, live together? Why all of a sudden? We had never discussed such a thing before. Currently, we didn't meet my in-laws frequently and had a minimal contact. I didn't particularly dislike them, but I honestly wasn't enthusiastic about suddenly living together. Why would we suddenly consider living together? I'm perfectly satisfied with our current life, Alonso. Well, now that you're pregnant, wouldn't it be better if my dad and mom were there with us in case something happened? That may be true, but living together comes with its own set of concerns. Don't worry, my mom is actually in favor of us living together, and she was even more thrilled than anyone when she found out you were pregnant. After that, my husband persistently tried to convince me, saying things like, it would give us peace of mind if we had the support of my parents, whenever an opportunity allows. Even if I tried to gently refuse, he forcefully argued, what if something happens to the child? How would we handle it? It was difficult for me to strongly object when the topic of our child was brought up. As a result, I ended up being swayed by my husband's opinion, and in my 4th month of pregnancy, we began living with my in-laws. Welcome, Yvette. We'll be relying on you from today. Take care of your health during pregnancy and give birth to a healthy child. Your well-being comes first. While you are pregnant, take it easy and deliver a healthy baby for us. On the first day of living together, my in-laws welcomed me with smiles. Thank you, father-in-law and mother-in-law. I'll be in your care from today. My in-laws doted on me, and especially my mother-in-law took utmost care of my well-being. Maybe living together wasn't as bad as I had initially thought. However, that feeling didn't last long. Because within just 1 week of living together, I found myself in a servant-like state. Hey, Yvette, what's with this breakfast? Is something wrong with it? You see, in this house, breakfast always consists of scrambled eggs, bacon, and toast. So why did you prepare bananas and yogurt? But when it's just Alonso and me, we sometimes have bananas and yogurt. I don't want to hear excuses. We have our rules in this house. Now that you are married into the family, you should adhere to our rules. The warm welcome quickly turned into a significant difference within a short period of time. Of course, my husband and father-in-law didn't come to my aid. On the contrary, they sided with my mother-in-law. What, you had bananas and yogurt for breakfast? Alonso, is that true? Well, listen, Dad, I actually didn't like having bananas and yogurt, but Yvette wanted to take it easy, so I reluctantly had bananas and yogurt. Reluctantly? Are you kidding me? You said you wanted to have bananas and yogurt regularly because your family always had scrambled eggs, bacon, and toast. Weren't those your words when we got married? Whether it was after returning to his parents' house or his true nature finally revealing itself, my husband became increasingly selfish. No, maybe it was me who was pushing myself too hard when we lived together as a couple. With my son's attitude, my father-in-law also joined in, making the situation even worse. It's disgraceful for a daughter-in-law to slack off on meals. Learn from our daughter-in-law. Yeah, true. I also had a hard time dealing with Yvette because I was comparing her to my mom. My husband and father-in-law casually carried on a heartless conversation that I could hear. I was slowly fed up with my husband, who conveniently made me the villain in front of my in-laws. I didn't want to stay in such a household, so I decided to work until the very last moment. Of course, even during that time, all the household chores were dumped on me, despite the fact that I was also working. The fact that I didn't have severe morning sickness was the only saving grace. If I had been bedridden due to the morning sickness or something similar, they would have criticized me even more. Doing my best to maintain a lifestyle unchanged from before a pregnancy was the most I could do to avoid causing trouble. However, the real hell awaited me after I started my maternity leave. Since I didn't have a job, I had no choice but to stay at home and inevitably face my in-laws. When I tried to go for a walk for the sake of my health and the baby's well-being, "Oh, Yvette, where do you think you are going?" "I'm going for a walk. The doctor said it's good to exercise when I'm feeling stable." A walk? It's pointless at this point. Yvette, you've gained quite a bit of weight, and exercising won't help you lose any weight. She casually threw such intensive words at me while laughing. Suppressing the boiling anger, I calmly responded, "Oh no, it's not about weight loss, it's for my health. It's been said that it's better to be active when I can, as it helps with a smoother delivery." "Oh, please, do you really believe that? If you have to be active, why not do housework instead of going for a walk? Let's see, Today, I'll have you clean the stairs and mop the floors. It's exercise, and the house will be clean. Killing two birds with one stone, right? I felt nauseated by her loud laughter. Cleaning the stairs and mopping the floors while pregnant? That's way too dangerous. She herself has experienced pregnancy, so how can she say such things so easily? If I stayed at home like this, I would be assigned dangerous cleaning tasks. Feeling my safety was at risk, I ignored my mother-in-law's attempt to stop me and went out for a walk. I didn't want to go back to my in-laws' house, so I walked a longer route than usual. And before I knew it, it was already dark outside. I should probably head back soon. With a sigh, as I returned home, I was greeted by my husband standing at the entrance with an imposing stance. Hey, where the hell were you wandering around until this late? I just went for a walk. My condition was good today, and the weather was nice. So basically, you made up the excuse of going for a walk and neglected your household duties, right? Excuse me? Neglected my household duties? What's that supposed to mean? I did the bare minimum before leaving the house, didn't I? It seems that my mother-in-law informed my husband that I went out to play without doing any housework. My husband didn't listen to anything I had to say and simply kept blaming me. You lack the awareness of being a wife. Why can't you listen to what my mother says? Frustration reached its peak as my husband constantly prioritized my mother-in-law over me. Listen, I'm not the housemaid of this house. Besides, we started living together for the sake of emergencies, right? So why should I be subjected to imposed rules and insults? Perhaps surprised by my strong resistance, my husband didn't say anything in response. From that day on, my husband and in-laws no longer openly made snide remarks. However, that didn't mean they treated me with care as a pregnant woman. Their treatment remained unchanged. Nevertheless, it was better than being constantly subjected to their snide comments as before. Time passed, and I safely gave birth to a baby boy. My husband and in-laws doted on a child. They became much kinder to me, unlike before. However, I stubbornly refused to let my in-laws hold my son. Of course, they complained and grumbled about it, but I didn't care. After being put through so much unpleasantness, there was no way I would let them hold him out of stubbornness. Hey, stop it! That hurts! What are you doing all of a sudden? You have an arrogant attitude. Know your place. I don't understand what you mean. You lady on my parents' hospitality, yet you won't let them hold our child. You barely do any housework, and you don't work. I want to be a cash cow for you to be a stay-at-home wife. I couldn't bear it anymore, and my husband exploded with his words. What kind of position is he in to say such self-righteous things? He earned less than me, even when we both had jobs. He won't be a cash cow? Who is he kidding? With his income, he can't be a cash cow. My anger reached its peak, and I shouted back at him. Why do you think I won't let them hold our child? It's because they made my life miserable before our son was born. I do the necessary housework. I manage my own finances by using my savings. without causing you any inconvenience.
You're my wife, aren't you?
So what if I'm your wife? Even during my pregnancy, I did housework and worked. So you and your parents did nothing but complain. And guess what? I earned way more than you did. Then my husband looked down at me and said,
Enough, I'm kicking you out. If you have a problem, apologize sincerely right here, in front of my father and mother. Say, I'm sorry, my lord, I won't joke around anymore. If you do that, I'll forgive you.
I felt disgusted by my husband casually saying such things. Is he serious? Why did I marry someone like him? It's not just a big mistake. It's a level of failure that makes me want to punch my past self.
Hey, are you listening? Apologize quickly. I'm serious about kicking out.
He demanded that I kneel down and apologize, while I remained silent.
A woman like you can't survive on her own anyway. Just shut up and do as me say.
I've heard rumors that some people become like kings as soon as their partner becomes pregnant. I never thought my husband would be one of them. I can't forgive him anymore. In that moment, the anger I had been barely holding back exploded. Understood, I'd take your words and leave. I'd go pack my things. My response must have been unexpectedly shocking, because my husband started panicking. As I tried to go back inside the house, my husband hurriedly tried to stop me.
Wait a minute, are you serious about leaving?
I am. What's the matter? Did you tell me to leave?
You are just putting up a front. It's obviously impossible for you to raise a child alone while being unemployed. Do you really think you can be happy as a single mother? Come on, I said I'll forgive you if you apologize, so go ahead and apologize.
I couldn't help but burst into laughter, clutching my stomach. Is he still demanding an apology at this point? How far does he want to push this king-like attitude? I grew tired of my foolish husband in front of me and let out all of my anxiety. It's none of your business. Apologizing to someone like you would be a waste of time and effort. It would be much better to apologize to a random statue nearby. Are you that dense?
Who do you think you are talking to like that?
I'm talking to the mama's boy husband standing right in front of me. The one who prioritizes his beloved mama over his pregnant wife, right? Can you not involve me in your issues?
You piece of shit.
My husband, about to lunge at me, suddenly stopped just before he made contact. There was a small crowd gathering around us. What's going on? What's happening? Are you two fighting? The neighbors are whispering and gossiping as they look at us. What's the matter? Don't feel like hitting me? Provoking him sarcastically, my husband's face turned red, and he went back inside the house. I packed the bare minimum of our belongings and left my in-laws' house. My mother-in-law, who followed me from behind, received a formal greeting. Thank you for your hospitality, mother-in-law. I'm sure it will be tough for you with the neighborhood relations from now on. So do your best. Wait, are you really running away? Do you think you'll be allowed to do that? My mother-in-law shouted, but she quickly quieted down when she noticed the eyes of the neighbors on us. Thanks to the onlookers, I was able to smoothly leave my in-laws' house. After that, I stayed at a friend's place for a while and rented an apartment using the inheritance I received from my parents. I went through a lawyer for a divorce proceedings with my husband. The records of the verbal abuse I endured at my in-laws' house served as a strong evidence in my favor. The more you try to make excuses, the more you put yourself at a disadvantage. Worst case scenario, it goes to court. What will you do? The mention of a court case seemed to make my husband quite anxious. He immediately agreed to the divorce. I was also able to successfully claim child support for our son. 6 months later, I received a text from my ex-husband. It was repulsive. "How are you doing? I feel lonely without the two people I loved." The more I read it, the more disgusted I felt. Of course, I haven't forgiven you and my in-laws, and I have no intention of forgiving you in the future. It's too late for you to realize now. Instead of wasting time spending messages like this, pay child support. I replied like that, and since then, I never received another text from him. Now, I've returned to work and my son is in daycare. I have a decent income of my own. There are no problems living with my son alone. By the way, when we started living together, it seemed like my father-in-law was eager to rely on my ex-husband and my income. He quit his job early on. I'm sure my in-laws are living a miserable life right now. I want them to suffer as much as possible if I could. There's no way to be happy as a single mother. That phrase my ex-husband said to me before. Now I can confidently declare it. I am happy. In fact, I'm much happier than when I was with them. Now it's just my son and me, savoring the happiness that couldn't be any better.